This is the sound of running water over smooth rocks and stones. And this is the scene that greeted us when we reached our destination. Can you see it? The water seems to be falling from the top of this cliff over there. Yes, but where exactly? Well, here's a closer look. As you can see, this waterfall is not easy to reach, but if you have a good head for heights and are careful, then you can walk behind the curtain of flowing water. So let's go for it. Now, that was amazing. And what a reward awaits us at the end of this trail. We're going to show you the most beautiful waterfalls in today's episode. We know you love such places, so we decided to surprise you with something really special. This time, all of them are well hidden though. You won't find any of these in any guidebooks. At first we had to trek through dense forest. Sometimes the path under our feet was almost completely covered with fallen leaves. In places, this carpet was so thick that footprints could remain there for hours. That's because hardly anyone ever stumbles upon these places. There were practically no other tourists around, only couples in love who wanted to be alone. That's why we couldn't help smiling when we saw this couple making out on a tree stump. Honestly, they probably wouldn't have noticed us even if we'd stepped on their toes. They were so into each other, but the main thing is what awaits us ahead. Just look at that. Doesn't it look like a fairy tale? A tiny lake surrounded by huge boulders, moss, trees. All of this creates a truly magical atmosphere. And above it all, the waterfall that we saw from a distance at the very beginning of our journey is getting closer. So, do you want to know how to get to this place without getting lost? Okay, now let's talk about how to get there. First of all, it's best to start early in the morning and leave your car at a paid parking lot near the forest. You can't drive right up to the trailhead. Then you need to walk along the forest road for about 2 kilometers until you see a sign indicating the direction to the lake. But don't rush. Look around and enjoy the views because they'll be changing dramatically in the near future. After about half an hour of walking, you'll see a blue sign indicating the trail to the lake. It says it'll take you about 1.5 hours to get there. However, we walked there in just 40 minutes. So hurry up. When you see a fork in the path, take the left one. It'll lead you to a wooden bridge. This is where the real adventure begins. After crossing the bridge, you'll find yourself in a dense forest. Here, the path sometimes gets completely covered by fallen leaves. So pay attention to the markers. Don't miss the turnings. If you walk straight ahead, you'll end up at a dead end and will have to return back to the bridge. There, you'll have to make a U-turn and go back. Once you've passed the fork in the path, you'll soon see the lake from a distance. After another 10 minutes, you'll hear the gushing of water, and that means you're almost there. All that's left to do is to go down some stairs carved into the rock, and you'll find yourself in a fairy tale world. We hope you enjoyed the video so far. If you did, please give it a like. And since we still haven't shown you the most beautiful part yet, let's continue. Here it is. Are you ready? Look, a little higher up, nestled among the rocks, is another waterfall. You can also take a dip in its cool waters. Just imagine sitting right there on the edge and letting the water trickle down your skin. Would you dare? By the way, there are two ways to reach this waterfall. You can either take a long winding path, or you can risk it all and climb the rocks like we did. Of course, if you're afraid of heights, the second option isn't for you. Well, let's move on. Do you see that path between the rocks? If you follow it, you'll find another amazing place. No, this isn't the lake we're looking for. Keep going. Soon enough, you'll hear the sound of rushing water. That means you're close. And here it is. Take a look at this magnificent waterfall. It seems as if it were frozen in midair. But that's not even the coolest part. The coolest part is that you can actually climb behind it. But are you brave enough? Because to do that, you'll have to crawl through a narrow crevice between the rocks. If you go a bit further along the lake, you'll find even more wonders. How many waterfalls can there be in one place? Honestly, we didn't expect to find so many of them. Some are tiny, and some seem to come right out of the ground. All of them together create an incredible atmosphere. It's impossible to tear your eyes away from this beauty. You can spend hours here taking pictures and videos and still not capture all the magnificence of this place. For example, here's another great spot. It's a cozy little cove with a stream flowing into the lake, and here's another surprise. Look, right here you can find the remains of an old mill. Who knows how many years it's been here, but it still looks pretty strong. And finally, we'll show you the lake from the bird's eye view. As you can see, it has a heart shape. This is the view from the observation deck above the lake. We hope you enjoyed the video so far. If you did, please give it a like. And now let's move on. To get to our next destination, you'll have to cross the wooden bridge again. Once you're back on the other side, turn left and follow the path along the forest. Soon enough, you'll see signs pointing in the direction of the lake. We decided to take this path and found ourselves in a clearing. And what a clearing it was. Look around. The bright green grass, the trees and shrubs, the white flowers, the shrubs. It's like a patchwork quilt spread out before your eyes. In the center of the clearing is a beautiful lake with crystal clear water. Of course, we wasted no time and immediately took a dip in its cool depths. The water was so refreshing after the long trek that, while we were swimming, we noticed this cute little house nearby. It's actually a tea room. We stopped by to rest and have some tea. There were plenty of people there, so we sat outside on the terrace. While sipping our tea, we talked with a local woman who told us a lot of interesting stories about the area. She's been living here for many years and knows every inch of these woods. According to her, the forest is full of all sorts of secrets and legends. One story she told us was particularly intriguing. She said that not far from here, deep in the forest, there's an abandoned village where people suddenly vanished without a trace. Only empty houses remained, and those fell into disrepair over time. No one dares to go there now. Locals believe that the forest is cursed. When we asked the woman if we could visit the village, she just shook her head and advised us to stay away from there. Maybe it's just a legend, but maybe there's some truth to it. What do you think? By the way, the owner of the tea room sells hand-painted souvenir mugs. We bought one as a keepsake. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.